Hello and welcome to Quora Queries. I'm Q, and I will be taking you through today's Q&A. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you want more questions like this. Now, let's get into this. I am 52 and my husband is 33. Is that wrong? At first, he showed me so much love. I've been with him for 12 years. Now, he shows me nothing. It's like a 360 turnaround. Well, it sounds like you went from eternal love to eternal Wi-Fi signal issues, initially strong, but now just buffering. Let's give the community an opportunity to respond. Reply 1. Everyone, including you, is focusing on age. In every relationship, things go wrong sometimes, and people change over time, and their interests and lifestyles also change. Unless a couple are willing to work on their relationship continuously and have open communications and honest discussions, they tend to drift apart. My advice is to talk with your husband and see what is wrong, and work together to bring back the love and interest into the marriage. Do more things together, share more time, communicate better. Age has nothing to do with him drifting away. 12 years is long enough to prove he really loves you. I personally don't buy all the age-related blah blah. If that was true, he would not have lasted 12 years with you. There is a high rate of divorce among couples of all ages, and there is a lot of love lost or affairs happening at all ages, so don't focus on the age gap, and instead focus on what really is wrong. Wishing you best of luck. Reply 2. I don't think your age has anything to do with your problems. If you loved each other back then, why not now? Time wears on any relationship, and you have to work at it to keep each other happy. Everyone changes as the years go by, so you can't base your love and relationship on looks. My wife and I have been married 49 years, and we struggle at times. Most times the problems in a marriage is when you look at your spouse, there is something he or she is not doing that they used to do. Talk about it. It could be simple things that can be corrected. In my case, my wife is always talking on the cell phone or staying up until 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. watching Steve Harvey, game shows, and soap operas that she records during the day. When that happens, we sleep in separate bedrooms. When she looks at me, she doesn't see the church-going man that she married years ago. I don't go anymore. I have the attitude of beware and stay away from the 3 Ps, politicians, preachers, and pimps in life. They are smooth-talking, lying manipulators. We're on a separate page on a lot of things, but we talk it out. I like cooking and eating at home, so I do most of the cooking. She likes eating out. Talk it out and be willing to compromise a bit to find a way to make you both happy. In my opinion, the age gap is just one reason people give themselves to why it's not working, when in reality it boils down to what we want at the time. Does he know what he wants? Do you? Reply 3. When you met your husband, you were 40 and he was 21. Had the genders been reversed, most people would scream about you being a predator and grooming your much younger partner. And honestly, I have to agree. Think about your mindset and priorities in your 20s. I'm in my early 30s, and the way I was thinking 10 years ago is extremely different from how I think and act now. To be 40 and think that it's okay to date and later marry someone who is 21 is mind-boggling to me. You completely took advantage of a man barely out of adolescence and definitely should have known better. A man at that age is probably not thinking about having kids, and the idea of having an older, more established/experienced partner could have been very attractive to him. As he grew and became more established and experienced himself, it's likely that his mindset changed. This is not to say that I don't agree with large age gaps, just not at stages of life where one partner still has so much growth and maturity to gain. Reply 4. I was in an age gap marriage that is shortly coming to an end. The gap of 12 years, her being the senior, made no difference, and we were married through thick and thin for 20 years. However, I was 28 when we met, so a little older than you. I never found the age gap an issue, and it wasn't obvious from our appearances. I most certainly was not after her wallet, and we married for sincere reasons. The reasons for it coming to an end after almost 20 years had nothing to do with our respective ages. Reply 5. When you met your husband, he was 21 years of age. Why would you think he would feel the same way about you 12 years later? Your husband was a young adult when he met, most likely still in college or whatnot, and he just started living life. Of course, he feels different about you because he has evolved and is now a more mature adult and most likely wants someone that will give him children and do other enjoyable things. I am 54 years old and trust and believe I would not want to date or marry a 33-year-old because we would be on two different mindsets. You need to wake up and give that young man his freedom to move on with someone more his age. Reply 6. You got together with your husband when he was just 21. He was still growing up. You were a full-grown, established adult, and your husband needed a stable parental figure. I'm not suggesting your husband doesn't love you. I'm sure he does. But once you hit your 30s, your life is established, and you realize you don't need someone who leads you around by the nose anymore. I don't necessarily think you need to divorce, but I think it's time for a long, honest conversation about the dynamics in your relationship. Perhaps a conversation about how he feels in your relationship will make it easier for you to determine your next steps. You know, if I had $1 for every time a 52-year-old went through a 33-year-old's midlife crisis, I'd be able to buy a few more years of patience. Let's move. Reply 7. A 20-year age gap is big and risky, especially as your husband must have been very young when you got together. That's not saying that the age gap is your only problem, but the individual experience of the gap changes with the years. 40 and 21 is really different from 52 and 33. He is now in his prime and you are not. It sounds like you'll need to take control and tell him the relationship isn't working for you anymore. See how he takes it, but it sounds like he'll be relieved. Reply 8. I can assume he was 21 and you were 40? At the age of 21, a person hasn't found themselves yet. But don't feel bad about it. People change all the time, but I've always felt that the ages between 20 to 25 are where a person finds themselves into adulthood. But then again, there's also spiritual growth where a person goes deeper into awareness, and that changes people a lot. I'm talking from experience. I'm sorry that you have to go through that, honestly, considering that you guys are married. Maybe counseling could help. Instead of trying to keep him, cherish the 12 years you've had together. Reply 9. When I was 20, I was with a man who was 36. Not quite the same age difference as your situation, but close. At 20, it made me feel so mature that a 36-year-old wanted to be with me. There are a lot of other reasons why I was in that relationship, but I really did enjoy his company and he mine. I thought we would be together forever and that my feelings for him wouldn't change. But between your 20s and your 30s, you change a lot. Your whole psychological makeup and perspective changes. Experiences mold you. You become more comfortable in your skin. Simply put, he has grown and changed. His tastes and needs have grown and changed. Because yours haven't, yours were mostly already set and have been since you first met him. You think he should still feel the same about you. He's not the same person he was when you first got together. I was 28 when I left the man I was with, and he fought my leaving tooth and nail. He was very angry and bitter, and just didn't understand that I was a different person at 28 than I was at 20. I'm now 61, and he is now 77. We are friends now, and he knows we are both better off. He's happily married. I'm happily single. We can talk about fun times we had without any negativity. My advice is to look back fondly on the good times you had and let him go. Let him be the person he was meant to be. It will hurt at first, but it will be better for both of you in the long run. Reply 10. This is not to bash you or anything, but to tell you the bitter truth. This question has insecurity written all over it. If you've been together for about 1 to 2 years, this may be the case that the age gap you mentioned is probably the main cause of things falling apart. It's been 12 years. Do you think if you were younger than him, there wouldn't be any issues between you two? You should be asking yourself, what have you been doing for him to give you less affection? What did you do for the past 12 years that made him stay with you for that long? Forget about what he's doing wrong. Focus on you. Men are simple creatures. All men want is respect, food, and sex. Are you checking those boxes? Especially respect? It's easy to disrespect someone who is 2 decades younger than you that is supposed to be in a leadership position. You bringing age gap into the issue shows you're probably disrespecting him in some ways. For example, are you paying more attention to how he looks at younger women and questioning him about it? Not saying you shouldn't discuss it, but don't confront him. If he's doing anything to disrespect you to trigger your age gap insecurity, talk about it in a peace-seeking and lovely manner. Without too much detail, the only thing I can deduct here is as an issue between you two is lack of respect. We all can give advice, but the best doctor to treat your illness is you. Good luck with your marriage. Communicate more. Talk about everything in a peaceful and respectful way. Apologize even if you believe you did nothing wrong. Let go of your age gap insecurity, then watch everything come back to place. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you get alerts on the next question. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.